the show.
Cool.
All right, I think we're going live now.
My little thingy says live.
Let's see. I try to do the pop-out comment section on it too, so that I can try to keep up with the comments that are going on over there. I don't think that's it. Hang on a second. Nope, that's last week's. Well, I don't know.
Let's see if I can find it over here.
And once you go live on Google Plus, it'll take a few minutes to get up on YouTube for the live feed.
Yeah, I've noticed that. We're probably live right now, to be honest with you.
We're live on Google Plus, yeah.
Yeah, on Hangouts wise and stuff. I just want to make sure I have the comment section going. Here we go. Is this it? Nope. That's published. And I think this is it.
So if anybody is watching, we'll be with you momentarily. We're having some technical difficulty, and we'll be glad to step in shortly.
Yeah, we're live. Here, let me do this. All right. Get myself situated here. I had it set up, but I guess the computer decided it did not like the way I had it set up, so we had to go back on it again. All right, well, welcome back again to the Midweek Workshop Show. We have a couple of returning guests with us this week. Sterling, starting with you, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you?
I'm Sterling Davis. You can find me on YouTube as Sterling Davis. I have a website that has all of my social medias on it. You can go to sterlingswoodcrafts.blogspot.com. You can find all of my Facebooks and Instagrams and the Twitters and all that good stuff.
Well, there you go. That's where you can find him. Going over to the Mighty Miter Mike. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you at?
Yeah, sure. My name is Michael Murray with Miter Mike's Woodshop. I can be found on YouTube, Instagram, everything else. If you go to www.mitermikeswoodshop.com, it'll have all my links right there.
Pretty simple enough. And here we go with our last one we got right now. Donald, would you go ahead and tell us where we can find you at?
Okay, they call me Donald Vlogsify. My YouTube is Donald Vlogsify's Woodshop. You can find my website, which is redneckknowhow.com, and then on Twitter I'm at redneck.com. At Redneck Knowhow, I'm sorry.
At Redneck Knowhow.
Yeah.
Donald, how did you get the name Donald Vlogsify? I've wondered that. I
had a channel previously where I did vlogs and kind of like try to do little skits and stuff, which that's a little bit of a harder platform to get into, and we started doing some woodworking on it, and I decided to move that to a separate channel, so I just kept the Vlogify name, and so far the woodworking is doing a heck of a lot better than the blogging stuff. I'm there, so I don't feel the need to change the name now, because that's what everybody knows me as. So.
Well, kind of what we did last week is we went through kind of talking about what we had going on in the shop, and we'll go in the same order we introduced ourselves. Well, you know what? I didn't introduce myself. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. My name is James Green, Stress Free Woodworks. You can find me at youtube.com/C/JamesGreenSFWW. Instagram at StressFreeWW, and then you can not YouTube, Facebook search me under James Green, and you'll see my little picture that's pretty much on some of my videos there. So it's not that hard. But getting back to what's going on in the workshop, Sterling, what you had going on this week?
I just released the Christmas Ornament Challenge for Carl and Alan Stratton's Christmas Ornament Challenge. I feel kind of out of place, so I'm going to try to do another one. Mine was actually a scroll saw Christmas ornament, and they accept all kinds, but it's typically turning. So I'm going to try to get me a turning ornament in before the 30th. So if you hadn't checked out the tournament, they've got a great playlist with some awesome ideas on different Christmas ornaments you can make. Some great skill there. And I'm working on right now, I guess you would call it wall art. It's not a palette. It's not a palette project, but it's got that vibe to it. It's actually just reclaimed wood from an old display that's going to have the palette look, and it's basically a scroll sawed out of an animal art in the scroll saw piece, and it's glued together. I guess it'd make more sense once I get it done and showed, but it's actually glued up here on my bench. And I've got a Christmas tree I'm working on now, and X-Carve, I'm fiddling with that a little bit. Inventables contacted me back, and a couple of things that was wrong with my X-Carve, they're actually fixing, and I've got some parts coming, so I'm going to revisit that and see how that goes. And if it doesn't go well as the first time, then it's probably going to be donated to a school or to a giveaway or something. But I do have some parts coming, so I'm going to revisit that. So that's got a good bit going on in the shop right now.
Well, I hope that X-Carve works out for you. It seems like a pretty nice platform when it works.
Yeah, and I want it to work. I do. I think it's more of the operator than it is the machine, because there's a lot of people out there getting them and making things and having success with it. Hopefully the parts they're sending me will fix my problem, and because there's some small stuff I can do, but there's some other things that is pretty basic that I can't do. So
yeah. Well, we look forward to seeing those projects coming up, and hopefully that X-Carve will work out for you. I know if it does, that you'll probably have some projects coming out for that too.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Because I've got a lot of things I want to do. It's just getting it to work properly. So they are kind enough to send out some new parts, and we're going to see what happens.
Is it still in the shed?
No, actually, it's still sitting here in the garage. I hadn't took it down to the shed yet.
Well, if it makes it out there, is it ever going to make it back?
Well, the next time it leaves my garage, if it leaves, it will go to someone else. It won't go in storage.
Well, I hear you there.
But
We got another feller that joined us here that's having some equipment problems. Charles, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you real quick.
I'm Charles Deering, and it turned out, although the first motor was bad, the breaker was also bad. But anyway, I'm Charles Deering, and I already said that. I'm a scroll sawyer, but I'm trying to pick up other stuff, and all my social media can be found at woodenvisions.com.
Well, that's simple enough.
Yeah, sure.
You building a front porch right now, aren't you?
Just finished.
And closing it.
Yeah, I just got, that's what I've been working on all day, was re-insulating and OSB crap. And that's why I'm just now joining.
Well, I know that you close that in, but that also gives you opportunity. You can build an even bigger porch on that building you got.
Yeah, once I get money. I spend it all on the bandsaw.
Well, thanks for joining us, Charles.
No
Mike,
problem.
what you got going on in the week or in the shop this week?
I finished, I don't know if you saw, I finished the air filtration. I built it. I have eye hooks I'm going to put in, hang it up on the ceiling and see how it sounds. It's a little loud, but seems like it's blowing pretty good, so we'll try it out for a while and see how well it does. I got to edit the video. Hopefully this weekend it'll be out on my channel.
Very nice. I've been following you on the social medias on that. It looks like a pretty nice project. I've been looking into doing one of them filtration systems myself, and I think it's given me inspiration. I actually took some measurements and looked at some parts online, so hopefully I won't be breathing in too much dust much longer.
Yeah, I mean, I had the blower from the blow-up slide, and I had the one sheet of MDF laying around, and then everything else has just been parts, glue, nails, and I had to go get some eye hooks from Home Depot, but I have the chain from my chandelier. I'm going to use that. I got like 10 feet of it, so I figure if I could reuse that chain, then it's pretty much not much out of my pocket.
That's always the best projects, the ones that don't cost anything really.
Then I got to start working. I'm going to try and work on that ornament. I want to try and build turn an ornament, but I'm going to try and put each letter of my kid's name on it, and then turn it, and then see how it looks. I don't know how it's going to look once I turn it, but we're going to try it out and see what happens.
I've seen, I think Rich is doing something similar to that, Rich McNatt. You might want to hit him up and get some tips from that. I know he's done a couple different prototypes there, working out the tweaks on it. He might be able to give you some tips.
Yeah, his last video was awesome. His final one, it looked really good.
Yeah, I think I have that in my queue to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
I'll definitely check that out. And that spear jig he's working on, it looks like that's going to be a pretty neat project too. So. Well, we look forward to seeing your Christmas ornament being turned. I know that's going to be a real interesting video. I've actually done my submission, but I haven't edited the video yet. I have to edit that video and then upload it to the proper channels and whatnot. And mine's not going to be as fancy as some of y'all's, but it's what I can do. I turned it on my drill press, so this is actually going to a friend of mine that's overseas right now. So it's a little simple project, and I have fun with it. So.
And not to get sidetracked, but did you look into the that pen thing you were talking about?
I was talking with somebody else the other night about this, and I really want to do this project idea. This, I guess you could call it a challenge almost. The timing right now isn't necessarily the best, I guess you could say, for myself, and I don't know about anybody else. I'm really wanting to wait to do that till I bring my lathe back. That's what I'm kind of waiting on there. But the idea behind that, in case you haven't heard, whoever's watching in the panel and whatnot, I was talking with Braxton here a while back and trying to get up an idea for like a challenge or something to benefit our active service members. And the idea that we've kind of bounced around was a pen turning challenge. And the idea behind it is the most unique pen turning video would probably take first place. That's kind of what we're looking at now. And then there's some other categories in there too that I'm looking at that I don't want to disclose yet. I'm still tossing those ideas back and forth. But the idea behind the pen is the woodworker would turn the pen, make the video, submit it, and then after they turned the pen and submitted the video, they would either mail it to myself, or I would have an address that they could send it to, and it would actually be a deployed service member. And with that package would be a handwritten letter to them encouraging support during their time of service wherever they may be, and they would actually receive the pen that letter was wrote on. So I figured that tying in woodworking and a support in that kind of way might be something unique and challenging at the same time and be beneficial to those over there. I was kind of thinking of personal experience, what would I want from a woodworker, and I think a pen would actually be the best, and I know a lot of turners turn pens, and it's not too awful difficult to do, so I don't see any reason why anybody could say no to it. Hey, I don't have the tools or whatnot needed. And also another reason why is I'm trying to develop an idea of how to turn it on a drill press and release that video, although I'm probably going to turn mine on a lathe so that there's no excuses in that. Not really excuses, but everybody can be included, because I would say 70% of woodworkers have some sort of drill press or similar. So, you're shaking your head, Charles. You don't got one?
I have a hand drill and no lathe yet.
Well, there's some YouTube workers out there that's actually made some jigs and whatnot to turn with a hand drill, so that might be something else too.
There's some things out there now where you can hook up like a Dremel tool, a rotary tool, and make a lathe out of it. Just make a little jig out of it.
Doesn't it have to have some kind of torque to it in order to not stop when you're tooling it?
Actually, I wouldn't know how that would work. I know the Dremel I've got out there, it worked pretty good in their videos. The Dremel I got out there has got a lot more torque to it than you think it does. So.
I know that with jigs and stuff that you make by hand and yourself, you can actually develop a pulley system to give you that torque like you're asking for.
Mm.
So, but yeah, that's kind of in the works still, Mike. The more I know about it, the more details I get on it, I'm going to start releasing information and seeing who wants to jump on board and all that fun stuff.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, keep us in tune on that, because I have like 4 containers full of pen kits now. One day when I was in the hospital, I kind of got bored, and I was sitting with my wife, and I had nothing to do, so I decided to surf the web, and I think I bought like $150 or $200 worth of pen kits.
Well, I think I mentioned this last time. Amazon is a very dangerous machine. Not really the machine, but an interface. I call it the Amazon machine because that's just what I do. I'm strange like that. But I get on that Amazon machine and I find all kinds of goodies. And we're talking about the lathe, and Donald was talking about drills and jig setup. I believe Amazon actually has a hand drill adapted lathe setup, so you could look into that. And I think it was reasonably priced around $50 or so. So, but yeah, kind of like I was saying, is I want to get as much details on it up front. I don't want to go into this and it be a total loss or epic fail. Not saying that it would, but I don't want to be set up for failure. I'm kind of a proactive person instead of reactive, so I'm still sourcing out. I got some contacts on post that I'm still actually involved with, and I'm trying to work with them and trying to get some ideas as far as who we can send these things to and how I can get them all out, whether it be individually sent out or everybody send them to me and then I send them out or whatnot. So that's the biggest holdup right now, is how to get these pins to the service members. So.
When you was talking about the drill press and turning on it, you could about turn the drill press on its side, build you a bed, turn it sideways, and use it that way to turn with. That's
very true. Essentially, if you look at them, it's essentially the same setup as a lathe. If you look into it, it's got a shaft that's driven by a pulley, and then that pulley's driven by another one, and it's connected by a belt, and then it's turned by a motor. So I mean, it's essentially the same setup. It's just vertical. So. And I kind of played around with mine a little bit, and I found that the best tool rest for those is go get those 1/2-inch rod from the welding section at hardware store, Tractor Supply, Ace Hardware, whatever you can find that stuff. Cut the threads on it, and I don't really have any play towards the top like I did with the threaded rod. So that's what I've been playing with. But.
I've got a lathe on that Shopsmith, but I haven't ever messed with it a whole lot.
And my dad has a Shopsmith, but he makes you clean up direct immediately after you're done using the tool, so I'm kind of procrastinated doing that. I'm procrastinating on cleaning anyway, but.
One thing I found out about turning, it's addicting. Once you get started and you start turning, it really is addicting.
That's what I'm afraid of, and I'm still trying to get dovetails down.
I think, not to go off topic, but I think scroll sawing can be addicting too, but there's only so much you can do with the scroll saw.
And I can agree with that too, Charles. I recently got my first scroll saw, and I've been playing with it, but I realized that the blades I got on it ain't no count, so I'm waiting on them to come in, and you'll see a couple of projects come out on that. So.
I know I did that Halloween one for Russ's contest, and I had a blast making it. It's fun.
It can be addicting, but I'm half burned out on a lot of things. I just a lot of motivation I'm needing on my end. But.
You just need a good kick in the butt.
Come on down. I do, man. My motivation's been in the toilet. No, not literally.
I think everybody goes through phases of that. I know I do. I go through for a few weeks, and I got nothing in my head for what I want to do. especially if you got other life events going on. It kind of messes with you there.
Well, I got something pretty personal going on, but I need to bite past it and just live life. But I don't know.
It's
Scroll saw.
hard to do sometimes.
On the scroll saw, I've done pictures mainly and non-pictures and bases, and I'm just running out of ideas on the scroll saw, and people are going to get tired just looking at pictures. So, trying to jump into other tools, but I got to get good at them first, I guess.
Charles, have you ever thought about going into fixed items on a scroll saw, like instead of doing a bandsaw box, do scroll saw boxes?
I considered that, but then I got a bandsaw. So I know you're limited with a scroll saw, but it's possible. I've seen them advertised. I've considered other things. But I don't want to completely lose my scroll sawing audience, because that's what I gained. Most of my subscribers, I think. I started losing them when I was doing the CNC work, so I'm only occasionally going to do that. But my passion is scrolling, but I do need to broaden my horizons. Go ahead, Donald.
That S-card thing, I think a lot of people had some problems with that, because it's like there for a couple of weeks there wasn't nothing on but X-card.
Yeah.
And it not trying to knock anybody, but the same thing over and over again gets old after a while.
That and a whole debate about whether or not it's actual woodworking, and it's less hands-on
Yeah.
than a lot of things, but it's fun, and I need the money if I am able to get things made out of it, so that's why I.
Well, in my opinion, I mean, maybe not. No, it's not traditional woodworking, but you're still working with wood, so you still got to put it together.
Yeah, and you still got to design what's going on it, but yeah.
Exactly. It's just another tool.
Automated milling. That's all it is. That's all you're doing is putting automation and milling together. So.
Yeah, sure.
It's like somebody said. I can just imagine back in the turn of the century when the first table saw come out, or whenever it was. Woodworking's dying. The art of woodworking's dying. It's just a tool.
Yeah, I think that happened a lot. What's that thing called, a bit crank or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Hand drill deal. I mean, yeah, I think everything has gone through that phase, but CNC is probably going to take a lot more defending.
There's those of us still out there that have a love for using the hand tools, and we may use the power tools, but we're still going to come back and use the hand tools too, just because we love doing it. I mean, that's part of it. That's why it's an art. I mean,
I'm lazy. I don't even like using a screwdriver. I'm trying to be funny. Didn't work.
Some days I'm in the mood to do this. Some days I'm in the mood to do this.
Well, you look at Ted, I mean, he builds some beautiful boxes, but he'll use the CNC to put designs in the lid of the box.
Yeah.
He still built that box.
Yeah, he's a good example of combining traditional woodworking and CNC.
I mean, if you look at Paul Seller's mallet project, even he switches over to the bandsaw while he's cutting it, because I mean, sometimes you just got to use modern technology when you're cutting through a piece of wood that thick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, real quickly, guys, over in the chat section, Dutch is his name. He was mentioning that there's a Grizzly drill power lathe on Amazon, and he's saying if you have the Prime membership, it runs $71.81. So, yeah, y'all can check that out if you don't have a lathe. So.
That old Tommy G looking too. Yeah, what little I know about the CNC, Tommy G helped quite a bit doing that. I'm trying to get off of CNC talk because it's not the most popular thing in the world. I lost subscribers when I started doing that. But it's interesting, but I don't know how much I'll stick with it.
I've lost subscribers for all kind of things, Charles. You could just say one word wrong and you're going to lose subscribers, but then you're going to turn around and gain more because of the interest that you're providing. So keep doing it.
Well, a little bit, I know we're not really a topic-based show, but Donald, it's your turn to tell us what you've been working on this week in the shop. We'll get off this CNC talk and let you spill a little bit of what's going on.
Right now I'm just kind of building up your basic dovetail box. Some of the pallets I tore apart the other day, they were made out of oak, and I found some real nice looking pieces out of it. I don't know if you can see it or not. So I'm building that, and I designed a little thing here that I'm gonna do the wood carving on, so with the pneumatic engraver. So I'll be busy with that for this week.
That's not woodworking. I'm just. Sorry, Donald, I couldn't resist.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But you try to get me with the hand chisel trying to do it. Now, turn on the air compressor.
Yep.
It's slow enough with the pneumatic engraver, much less sitting there. I got all respect in the world for the guys that sit there and that come out with perfect little circles and stuff. I ain't one that can do it.
I think even with pneumatic, it takes a lot of talent to do.
I mean, it's with me. Biggest problem I have is just like using a router, except on a lot smaller scale. And when you hit that grain, it's a lot easier with that engraver for the grain to throw you off of your line. And you got to pay attention to what you're doing.
Believe it or not, I've never tried freehand routing. I've always used a router table. Just me.
I've done it a little bit with the Dremel. I love my Dremel tool. With the little Dremel attachment and all that. And I've done a little bit with the full-size router. And, again, naturally, the bigger you get, the less problem you have with that. But that grain will still throw you off.
Donald, have you ever seen Cut Marks on YouTube?
I don't believe so.
His name is Cut Marks. He does hand chisel carvings. He does some amazing work.
I have to look him up.
Speaking of chisels, how are yours doing, Donald?
They're doing good. As a matter of fact, while I was building this box, I used them. I'm going to upload the video. Probably end up having to do this one in 2 parts because I'm doing the carving on it too, where I used it a little bit. So they worked out great. Especially that angled one, when you're coming down in there on that angle, and it works so much better to keep from dinging up the side of that dovetail.
Well, that's all that matters is if they work or not. If they don't work, then it's just a piece of metal. Just throw that thing off on the side.
And now it's just an ugly tool that works.
It works.
Nobody said it had to look pretty.
Well, Charles, you been doing any work in the shop, or you still working on that bandsaw?
Well, I got the bandsaw going. I just was finishing up the where I had the porch and extended the wall out. I was just finishing out the walls and ceiling.
Are you about finished with that, or you
I
got a
just
little bit left?
finished right before I jumped on. That's why I wasn't on in time.
Well, we can't get mad at you for that, then. Making
No, I
improvements in
don't.
the shop.
Trying to, anyway.
Well, looks like Nick has joined us.
Oh, now he left.
There he goes.
Oh, there he comes.
And there he is.
Peekaboo!
Well, Nick, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you at.
Hi, I'm Nick Ferry, and you can find me. We can't hear you, Nick.
I think he's faking it.
Drop
Well,
back in.
he's been known to fake it, but maybe he really doesn't have any sound.
I think with Google Plus mixing up all these little gadgets, they're messing up everybody's audio and video. And
Well, I had to log in and log out and log back in to get mine to work a while ago.
I was having problems too, and I'm the one that started the thing. He'll probably jump back on in a minute.
So, James, what have you had on your workbench today?
Oh, this week I had a couple projects going on. I made my first cutting board. It's out of walnut and maple. Getting some ideas together for Christmas and friends and family and stuff like that. And I played with that a little bit. I turned this mallet. I don't know. It's made out of walnut. It didn't turn out the best, but I could hit something with it. I made my table. It's over here by me. It's going to stay over here by me, too. I made that out of 100-year-old reclaimed wood. So the guy on the Craigslist said, come get it. I said, I'll be over there in 30 minutes.
By God, load down that truck.
I tried, but he posted it maybe a month ago, and I responded to him, emailed him, and the most awkwardest thing is I just thought he just ignored me or whatnot. He had his friend go dig through it, and then he texted me on Sunday, "Hey, I didn't mean to ignore you, but my friend wanted to dig through this first. If you still want some of it, it's over here. Come get it." I said, "All right, I'm on the way." So I didn't get the best pickings, but I got enough to make a little table. It turned out all right. I wanted it to be a little bit better, but I had to make do with what I had.
Yeah, cool.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Yeah.
No, that's the reason I had to run in and tell my kids to get off the internet. My internet bandwidth or speed has just been crap lately.
I thought you were faking it because you've done it before.
Yeah, no. So,
The more they get into playing games, the worse it's going to get.
exactly. So they think that the internet just is magically in the air there. Yeah. Well, how's everybody doing tonight?
Well, we're doing all right. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm doing good. I just got back from dinner, so my belly's nice and full.
What do you have for dinner?
Hamburger.
That's
What kind of hamburger?
One with bun.
From Five
Kind of
Guys.
came from a cow.
No, actually, we didn't go to Five Guys, but I had this pet.
I love Five Guys.
Oh, in that case, ain't no telling where it came from.
or what's in the cup.
Joe's Burger Barn.
It's water in the cup. I'm a little dehydrated.
That's one of them chicken cow burgers.
I don't know if you guys went over this stuff already, but let me grab the actual other thing. I was going to show you what I was working on.
Hey.
While he's getting that, I'm just wondering, am I the only person on YouTube that has not made a cutting board?
Probably.
No, I
not.
haven't either.
I haven't made one either.
I haven't. I don't ever come up with enough scraps to make one, so I'd actually have to go buy the wood.
I've never made a video on one. But
There's
I
something
did-
you haven't made a video on?
This is Paul Sellers had a video up for a rabbit plane.
I was watching that today.
Yeah, so I made one right away, and I freaking love it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just gotta finish the fence on the bottom, but no, it works really slick. And then I got to use my stamp for the first time.
Right, just
Yeah.
now is a rabbit plane like it's probably literal, but you know the rabbit you have in a piece of wood, that's used for
Yep. I
planing
mean,
it?
you can use it to clean up like the like the cheek on a
I'll be
tennis.
right back.
But like eventually, this is the piece I'm going to use for the fence, and then so you can set how wide you want your rabbit, and I mean you can make a rabbit with it, or you can clean up a rabbit with it, or you can clean up tenons, and yeah.
Cool.
I needed that the other day. I'll tell you that. I put my router table on my table saw, and I cut rabbits on the table saw, and I was cleaning it out by hand with my chisels, and that really would have came in handy. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I gotta make a router plane or buy one. That's one thing on my list that I want to get. But there's all too many times I'm sitting there cutting dados or grooves on a piece of plywood on my table saw, and there's just a little bit of bow to the board, so I'm not pushing down. And I'd love to just be able to run in there with a router plane and just clean it up real quick, you know. But yeah. Well, yeah.
You made something else, didn't you, Nick?
Oh yeah, I made that door board not too long ago.
What's a door board?
It's I'll let him tell you.
Well, yeah, it's just it's just a straight for a circular saw basically is all it is. Your circular saw rides in here. They're pretty common, but I mean we always call them door boards, but that video people seem to like because it's you pretty much take like I don't know $3 worth of wood and you can turn your circular saw into a nice little track saw.
Yep.
Yeah, under here.
What up, G? Sorry.
What up, Tommy G?
That's your job, James. I'm sorry.
Tommy, thanks for joining us. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Give me 1 second.
One.
I forgot to pause the video since I'm on here now. I'm Tommy G. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all under Tommy G Workshop.
And we've seen, I don't know, I've seen it, that you were modifying your dust collection, right?
Yeah, I just modified the Harbor Freight dust collector to kind of exhaust to the outside.
You don't have to worry about rain out there, Tommy.
Well, the whole dust collector's inside.
No, I'm saying just that OSB getting hit.
Oh, the OSB? Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
I've had that OSB up for, well, since I've moved in the house because there was no window to begin with, and it hasn't done anything to it yet. So.
Well, a quick fix you could do on that is since the window's there and you only got a half of a window really, the bottom part that's open, right? That you were saying that the bottom part hasn't been there. Just take it off real quick and wrap it. I know that's a little bit of work, but if you wrapped it, it'd be better than nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
But if not, you just buy another piece of OSB and do it again.
Yeah, I have plenty of that in the shop, so.
How's that Grizzly working out for you, that new table saw?
I haven't had any problems with mine. I know some people don't like them or have had problems with them, but I mean, coming from a Craftsman contractor saw that's cast aluminum top and just a crap, yeah, the Grizzly's working out great for me. So.
Well, that's good to hear. And the quiet begins.
I didn't want to interrupt.
I popped in and everybody stopped talking.
You just took our
I
breath
think we were
away,
talking
man.
about you.
You can talk about me, in front of me. It's all right.
Well, Nick likes talking about NASCAR. I'm just kidding. That's the quickest way to drive Nick out of a room. Start talking about NASCAR.
I would just sit over. I was just over YouTube reading the comments. So.
Speed up and turn left.
On road courses, they turn right. But anyway, back to the show.
Yeah, but how many road courses are there? One, two?
There's only two. Watkins Glen and Sonoma.
Is Sonoma the old Sears Point?
I don't have a freaking clue. I don't even like watching it. Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm sorry, James.
I don't know who we get in trouble with.
He's mean to us behind the scenes. He beats us.
Gonna go in timeout.
Oh.
Hey, Charles, you know
What's
what
been
NASCAR
going
stands
on, man? I haven't talked to you in a long time, man.
I've been half been a punk and half lazy and blah 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 and no, I don't know what NASCAR stands for. Whoever said that, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be nice. I know what it really stands for. I thought if there's a joke in there, I don't know what that one stands for.
Yeah, it's a non-athletic sports centered around rednecks.
And I are a redneck, by God.
So somebody threatened to take away my redneck card the other day because I don't watch NASCAR and I don't watch wrestling.
Do you watch football though?
On occasion, I'm not real hard into it. I mean,
well, I've been watching the Dallas games, but that's not football anymore.
No, that's a joke.
Lately, the Packer games haven't been real football either. So.
Yeah, it seems like we both picked the wrong teams this year.
Yep.
Nick, I wore this just for you, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't. I'm not a huge football fan, but man, it's hard to.
I was till about this time last week.
Usually when it comes with sports, if I manage to put money on a pool, that's when I watch it.
That's when they lose. That's why I don't put money on it. Sorry, Sterling.
So Donald, there has to be vested interest.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I was ticked when I found out wrestling was fake. Because I was one of these. I know this is totally off topic, but you know when they come running out of the locker rooms and all a bunch of them getting in a wrestling match, you know, they all getting in the ring jumping. I was this little kid jumping up, throwing my chips and crap, and and then I come to find out years later it was fake. It's, oh my god, I wasted so many days.
Be quiet, Mom. I'm gonna get some potato chips and go watch some wrestling.
If anybody tells me Santa Claus is fake, I'm leaving the show.
That's not sister.
I used to watch it back in the old days with my father when it wasn't quite as big, when it was, what was it, the East Mid-Atlantic Wrestling or whatever it was. Back when Ric Flair was young.
Yeah. Roddy Piper. Sorry.
When they switched over to the, what was it, the WWE or whatever, I lost interest in it for some reason.
Y'all need to start calling me sidetrack, because I'll change anything up and do a weird ass topic. I'm sorry, James. That's what, 3 times now? I'm just gonna sit over here muted, okay?
I know I joined the conversation late, so maybe you already talked about it. But did you talk about your shop renovation there, Charles?
Yes. Just to let you know, I just got done putting our insulation. What do you call it? The plastic wrap.
Vapor barrier.
Vapor barrier and the OSB.
I saw you had that nice redneck window tint on the windows.
Yeah, the foil.
Aluminum foil.
Believe it or not, I did that because at night I would go out the door and moths would come flowing in, and I just said, screw this. I don't want them to be able to see the light.
We should have spray painted it.
Well, that would be more redneck.
That would probably, if they're thermal glass, so that would probably wreck the windows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my redneck window tint, but
I'll have to send you some or something.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it looks stupid with the foil on there, but it definitely keeps the moths away.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's an A-class redneck. B-class, C uses sheets or something like
Yeah.
that.
And in the summer, if you get hungry, just throw an egg on the window and you can cook dinner.
I'll just piss off my neighbors and they'll throw eggs on my window.
Because that's a fun little factoid. Moths are not attracted to light; they're blinded by it, and their navigation goes away once they're near light.
Well, they need to just stay the heck away. Gosh darn it! I'm trying to be all family friendly here, but I don't know if it's allowed or not.
The front door.
Golly dang it!
Hey, Charles, over in the chat section, Dutch said you need to use a coonskin.
For what?
To cover your window.
The winder.
I haven't seen any coons that big.
The full white kind of worries me.
If there's a hidden joke, I got sunk in it, I guess. But.
Yep, you're in it. That's for sure.
But on a side note, I own that porch was only 4 feet by 8 feet, but it's amazing how much bigger it looks inside just for that little bitty area.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
That's a Doctor Who reference. That's family friendly. Put a coon skin on it.
Exterminate.
Where's my fish?
James, you better take over before we screw the whole thing up.
Yeah.
How are you going to screw up a live show that's real candid and it's just a workshop talk, whatever? I kind of reference back to that. I want this to be kind of feel one of those real comical sports talks on the radio. I always like those where everybody's just kind of chiming in on whatever. It starts out with how one football team is just dominating or whatever, and the next thing you know, they're talking about coonskins and where's my sister. So here we go. Where's my sister?
My sister's got a lot of moles.
Yeah, just get a magic marker, and that way we can connect the dots.
Call her Holy Moly.
Yeah.
I'd actually forgotten about that after I posted that video on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, God.
Where's my beautiful sister?
Yes, boy, you're not to talk like that. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I gotta make a shirt that says that. Where's my sister? How do you get that across in text with the "Where's my sister"?
Well, I
You gotta
don't.
put a lot of R's. I know that.
Well, you spell it. You spell weird W-E-R-E without the
Apostrophe.
yeah.
Or just W.
They
Or
got
you go W-U-R. Worse, W-U-R-Z.
I always thought that, what do they have, that National Pirate Day or National Talk Like a Pirate Day? If I was an optometrist, I'd make a new eye chart with just I's and R's. I, R.
Read line 7 for me. Arr.
James is cussing aloud. I'm not going to fly off the handle here, but is it allowed?
It depends on what you're wanting to say. Are you going to say a real bad word, or is it a little?
I don't plan them
oopsie-doopsie?
ahead of time. I just kind of fly off at the cuff. But I didn't. That's why I've been saying poopy heck instead of. I don't want to.
It's all contextual. I mean, like, oh man, look at that Hoover. Damn!
I don't want to make all 3 viewers go away.
When I publish the video, if you say a dirty word, I'll make sure that I put a parental advisory in there.
All right.
I think it's safe to say if it begins with an F, P, or C, we need to walk away from it.
We're sorry. Charlie is a funny man.
But some words get a bad rap. You know, if it begins with F and ends with UCK, it could be fire truck. Oh, good lord.
Well, Nick can tell his elevator joke, but that might lose you.
No.
I guess you heard it. All right, let's talk about ducks.
I told it to Sam yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot of yesterday.
Nick,
Well, I wonder why.
Nick can tell you about something, but that's another story too.
Yeah, let me tell you about something.
Oh, that's something. All right.
Where's my sister?
She's in the kitchen cooking my French fry taters.
Yeah. Not many people make you biscuits at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the tater selling with your cousin.
Oh, man. I shaved my beard a little bit too short yesterday and I found a couple extra chins, so I got that going for me.
Or chins in a Chinese phone book.
Those, yeah.
Well, alrighty then.
I said you and Matt Cremona were trying to get a fuller beard.
Oh, I wish I would have known that. I wouldn't have shaved it.
So, do any of y'all ever just on your day off get in the vehicle, get in the car, and just drive and go somewhere and just?
I can't afford to.
Every time I get in the vehicle and drive, I go somewhere.
Yeah, then the wife calls and says, "Pick this up at the store."
I drove to the mailbox at the end of the driveway, but past that, I can't afford it.
Ran out of gas going there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Us rednecks got some long driveways.
No, I was actually kidding. It's a standard driveway, but
Yep. You drive on a parkway and park on a driveway.
and your feet smell and your nose runs.
Yep. Pair of panties, but just a bra.
My driveway is a driveway for 2 houses, so.
Wow, you must be rich. That's our guest house.
Sterling, what were you asking about getting in the car and driving? I want to hear the rest of this question.
Do you remember the details, Sterling?
Sterling's existential thoughts.
Well, no,
Next thing I know, there was red and blue lights. Sorry, Sterling. Go ahead.
I was off yesterday, and I got in the truck, and my intentions was to drive down to Klingspors, and I passed Klingspors and kept going. I wound up in Asheville, which I did go to Klingspors, but I went to Klingspors in Asheville. It's an hour and a half away. So, and I just done this by. It was a nasty, ugly day, but it was up in the mountains and just driving around, and it was just nice and peaceful, thinking about, what I can work on next. And then once I wound up an hour and a half away, I was just throwing it out there. In particular, I just had a good day yesterday riding around.
I've been a passenger in a vehicle when I was young, and we were going through Asheville. There's some beautiful mountains out there. North Carolina, for you folks that don't know geography.
I'm no cartographer, but I know my way around some geography.
Golly.
I've headed to Raleigh before and wound up in New Bern, but that wasn't on purpose. And it did not make me happy.
Now, I don't know if this is a common problem or if it's something that I've developed that I really got to thinking about it after Sterling asked the question. Have you ever started out for work and that's the last thing you remember till you got there?
Yeah, I've fallen asleep at the wheel going to work, and I didn't know that was possible. That scared the crap out of me.
I've done that, but I just drunk that much the night before.
But in all soberness, though, here a while back, I got in the truck to go to work, and I started down the interstate, and my exit is like exit 24, and I wound up at like exit number 8, and I didn't remember how I got there, and it was just a real confusing time for me.
What is this soberness?
In all soberness, I've never heard that before.
What is this soberness you speak of?
Not a very common topic, that's for sure.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm abbreviated.
That's my problem. If there's one way to keep going, to go to like 4 different places, my mom's, my wife's aunt's house, and every once in a while, if we're going to one place, I'll like drive and not even realize that I didn't turn where I was supposed to turn. She's like, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going to." "Oh wait, no, I have to turn around." So I do it all the time. I just get so used to driving one place, even though you're going in the same direction. You're supposed to be going to a different one. I just
Have you
zone
ever
out.
been driving with traffic lights all day, and then you get into a neighborhood and you find yourself waiting on the stop sign to turn green? Not literally, but you're so used to stopping and waiting that you find yourself just sitting there. And yeah, I'm the only one.
I kind of understand what Sterling was talking about. Here in North Carolina, you got a lot of country roads and tobacco farms and stuff like that. You get to driving out there in the country, and you just forget. You get thinking about stuff, and you don't even think about turning off nowhere.
Oh yeah, you got all the farms and the cotton fields and just it's just nature. It's just I love nature and the mountains. I can lose myself in it.
What about the peanut farms?
Not a whole lot of peanuts that I'm aware
No,
of.
not by you.
I think there's a few down south towards South Carolina, but it's not a big thing here.
Down south. That's all right.
Corn, a whole lot of corn.
Corn and tobacco.
I wonder why those two are real popular in Carolina. I'm just asking.
Well, corn became popular because tobacco is starting to become less popular. Tobacco it was just our cash crop.
That and pine. Isn't pine prominent in North Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So is crystal meth, but that
Oh
ain't.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I can go next door and get that.
That's behind the scenes. Where's my sister? I told her to get me some meth, and she ain't back yet.
All I'm gonna say is down there here in Fayetteville, during the Cape Fear River, there's a reason why them catfish get that big.
I always wanted to know how they get a catfish. I mean, I've never seen a cat in water, and I've never seen a fish in a bed with a cat.
Well, we're reaching now.
Well, it's all about the whiskers.
Have you ever been catfishing, Nick?
Oh yeah.
That's just good fishing. That's just a good fight.
I'm not a very good fisherman. I can drink the heck out of some beer while on a boat though.
Yeah.
You're halfway there.
Yeah.
Nick, did your redneck catfish?
No. What do they call it? I already forget what. Where you stick your hand in type thing or whatever.
Noodling.
Yeah, noodling. No, never been noodling. Well, not for fish anyway.
I had a response to that, but we're family friendly.
And the parental advisory goes up.
Let us not go there.
I was talking about making spaghetti. What are you talking about?
Think you're noodle fishing.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of days that I've gone to work or started to, and all of a sudden became sick and found myself on the water. I'm just saying.
Have you ever called in?
An old guy at work always told me, never come into work. Never call out of work sick. You come to work sick, you call out when you feel good.
Call in.
Have you ever called into work with anal blindness? I can't see my ass coming into work today.
That's a good one.
You thought that was going downhill, didn't you? It's like, God, don't give that punchline. We're going to have to rate it R.
Have y'all heard about the guy that went fishing and he's catching all the fish and nobody knew how he was doing it? The game warden said, "All right, well we're gonna go with you and see how you catching all these fish." So the game warden gets in the boat with him. They go out in the middle of the boat. He opens up this tackle box and pulls out a stick of dynamite, lights it, throws it out in the water. Boom! All these fish come belly up to the top of the water. Game warden said, "You can't do that. That's illegal." Well, the boy done had another stick of dynamite, lit it, handed it to the game warden, and said, "You gonna sit there and argue or fish?"
I only got one good fishing joke with these two blondes. They wanted to try their hand at fishing, so they rented a boat and went out and they were reeling them in left and right, and then it was like, "Wow, this is a really good spot we found," you know. And then the one's like, "Yeah, we should mark the spot." So the one got out her lipstick and put an X on the side of the boat. He goes, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm marking this spot so we get it tomorrow." She goes, "Oh my God, how stupid are you? How do you know we're gonna get the same boat tomorrow?" Oh man.
I don't get it.
You go over to James's house, there's a boat with about 10 X's inside of it. Oh.
I actually felt sorry for him at first. I said, "God, do we have to explain this?" if he doesn't get it, he's going to ask after the show. "No, really, I didn't get it."
So did they get the boat or what?
Shoot, people used to ask my ex, or ask me while she was around, what I fished for. Before I could even say bass, she'd come up with bud. Her thing was, every time I go out fishing, I never come back with anything but empty beer cans.
Well, you know what Budweiser stands for, right? Because you deserve what each individual should enjoy regularly.
Huh.
Cool.
Huh?
That's what Budweiser stands for.
Because what was it?
Because you deserve what each individual should enjoy regularly.
That's too long of an acronym. I just like the beer.
Hey, on that note, we're going to go ahead and take this off live. I appreciate y'all coming out for the live event tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry if we offended anyone.
I'm not.
Hey, it's our show, right? We do what we want.
I need subscribers. I'm a friendly.
Technically, it's your show.
You got me and Charles all on the same hangout. You get two rednecks together, it's going downhill from there.
That's where your sister is.
You got Tatum Settler with a cousin.
One of us got your sister. I ain't saying who, just saying.
Really, the next sign-off's going to be, and remember, be kind to your sister.
Well, for whoever's watching this, I appreciate y'all watching too. Come back next week. We'll try to do it again. And next week we'll go ahead and put the parental advisory out because I already know it's coming.
My God.
And we will see y'all later.
Bye.
Hasta la vista.
Ah.
Man.